This is a big victory for President Obama and the administration. The fact that the Supreme Court upheld most of the provisions for the American Health Care Law, that's a very good thing because Americans do need a system of taking care of people's health where there's not a lot of emergency room charges, because that is going to bankrupt the economy. Of course, it is not a law that's friendly to insurance companies and big businesses that want to make money from medical expenses, but it is definitely a law that is people friendly and will be able to help people in the long run. Now, as I listened to Romney's response, I thought it was funny and I think a little immature, because the least that Romney could have done is to say, you know what, this is the highest court in the land and they have made their decision. I will respect it and I will stand by it and really see that this is not something that is unconstitutional. This is what I'm saying. If this law had been stricken down by the Supreme Court, Romney and his camp would have been celebrating all over the place and saying, I knew it was unconstitutional, I knew it. Yet, because the law was upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court, Romney's downplaying it. I mean, if you're going to praise the U.S. Supreme Court and say the Supreme Court has to decide on this is important, this is unconstitutional, and these justices have decided that this is constitutional, it does not go against the U.S. Constitution, then at least applaud the Supreme Court for making a decision that you will respect and really see how you can work it out for most Americans, to get affordable health care. Now, we know that Romney supported this kind of health care because the health care is modeled after what he did in Massachusetts. But Romney said, instead of saying, hey, you know what, this is a victory for Americans because the U.S. Supreme Court did what it needed to do, instead of that, he said, oh, well, it's a bad policy. It's not unconstitutional, but it's a bad policy. It's a bad law, and I'm going to repeal it. Everybody knows that Romney is not only business friendly, but he is business biased. There are many businesses that Romney will be friendly with and biased towards that will make the profits that they want to make, but a lot of citizens will get hurt in the process. Sometimes it's not just a matter, a lot of times it's not just a matter of saying, hey, we created many jobs. It's also making sure that the jobs that you create are not at the expense of people's health and people's lives. So I applaud President Obama for hanging in there, and for his team hanging in there and really believing that they made the right decision in making sure that Americans get affordable health care. Of course, there are going to be a lot of glitches to be worked out. President Obama and his team will also have to do a lot of PR work and make sure that people understand that this law is not taking away jobs. This law is not cutting away people's health coverage, but this law is designed to help more people get coverage. And also to make sure that there's a way to proactively deal with the deficit.